Whitmer this November. And joining me now is Tudor Dixon, a Republican running to unseat Governor Whitmer this November, and the candidate who put that video together. Tudor, it's good to see you tonight. Now, the left would surely say, all right, but that's just a protest. That's not an insurrection. But gosh, I'm thinking if you were a state legislator in that building and that crowd breached the building, might be fairly unsettling.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Laura. Let me explain what was going on here, because that building was locked down. It had just been locked down the day before because of credible threats against lawmakers. So you have Governor Whitmer, who was a state senator at the time, who did actually throw the doors open. Well, technically, she opened her window of the secured Capitol building and let those violent protesters in to, I would say, disrupt the democratic process. And she's campaigning on this in 2018. She's actually she's talking on camera in an interview saying, I threw the doors open. That's from her when she was campaigning. So Democrats back then said, hey, being a radical activist and marching on the Capitol steps and breaking into the Capitol is what you need to do to become a governor. Now, if you do that, you're an insurrectionist. So if you're labeled as an insurrectionist and you must be impeached, you can't be governor, right?
Yeah, well, we don't have the window deal confirmed, but the video that we've looked at and that we just showed, again, it depends on how you look at certain things from different angles, but it's an angry crowd. And we believe in protests. We believe in peaceful protests. We believe in the right for people to be heard. We don't want anyone shut out of a debate. But what's going on in Washington is an effort to squelch free speech and squelch debate and brand anyone who has a particular point of view, happens to be more conservative or questions some election results. They're de facto not members of society. That's what's going on. And my question to you, Tudor, is right now, hearing Whitmer's reaction to January 6th is quite something. Watch.
I'm watching the news of what's happening in Washington, D.C., and I am appalled. I am furious. And the actions of these people who are trying to stage a coup and wreak violence on the very foundation of our democracy is appalling and abhorrent.
Fraudulent, hypocritical, a couple words that come to mind.
Yes, she's the queen of hypocrisy here in the state of Michigan. Everybody knows that, but it's important to know that she's been that for many, many years, and that she did actually lead the same thing here in Michigan. Those images are interchangeable with January 6th, but you bring up a good point. You have this January 6th committee that is actually going after citizens, but also going after lawmakers and saying, hey, even though all of the lawmakers say, we had nothing to do with this, we are going to search you down. We're going to take your bank records and we're going to find out if you could have possibly, and then we're going to prosecute you. Gretchen Whitmer was out there saying, I did this and you should be proud of me for doing this. How are we suddenly changing the rules of the game? Of course, that's always what Democrats do. But look, when she did this back in 2012, she proved that she was a radical activist and she wasn't a leader. She has continued to say, I'm going to shirk the democratic process. Throughout all of 2020, she was a dictator. She wouldn't work with the legislature. She wouldn't bring the legislature into the decision-making process. The person she was in 2012 continues to be the person she is in 2022, and she cannot be reelected for our state. Right. She is bad for Michigan.
Well, you guys are seeing an exodus, I believe, of residents. People are going for more hospitable economic climates. You've lost 16,000 people from 2020. Now, it's not a huge number, but it's not a small number either. It's not going in the right direction, that's for sure. Tudor, we're going to be watching this primary on the GOP side. Michigan needs relief. Thank you so much.
Mi amor, este va a ser un viaje bien movido.
Uso Trulicity una vez.